you, Toronto, and thank you so much for joining me on another TRXC video. So today I wanted to talk about this week, what had occurred. This is kind of one of my weekly update videos. They're going to be coming at the end of every single week on Friday. Okay, so just look forward to that in case you want some reference on a weekly movement or what to expect into the coming week. Or if you're just joining the channel, I do highly recommend checking out my other videos because I have tons of videos on my channel that go all over TRXC. Or if you just need some refreshing, that's definitely out there as well. So with that being said, I do want to go into the stock and what exactly we're looking at here in terms of movement, in terms of in terms of the growth and the predictions. And then on top of that, I also want to talk touch base with the news that occurred this week. Earlier this week, actually, what had happened was there was the closing of the offering. And what's really something interesting about this is they had an offering with H.C. Wainwright. And this offering essentially was given the possibility of, let's say, 70 million, right? So it was given the possibility of exercising options to increase their shares or and whatnot. But it was 30 days, so they had a large amount of time to actually act on that, and they ended up acting on that immediately, which I thought was really, really good. So they ended up buying quite a few shares, about 30 million, at about a price of about $3 per share, which created a really, really great $3 floor. And I think the company is going to kind of really skyrocket off of that, especially since when we look at the chart, I'll kind of explain why I really do enjoy that. So I was looking forward to that. I brought that up in the last video, which was about the offering, and or not the offering, I'm not sure exactly, but whichever one it was, but it definitely does bode extremely well that they did end up exercising the optional shares there. So that was really good. So going on to the chart, this is what I really want to look at here. We look at the daily chart here. We take it day by day. We zoom into the present time. And the reason why I'm really excited about this is we obviously saw on Monday that there was a lot of growth that came in at first and then it tapered out. It kind of looked like a little bit of an Everest. So Monday was a little weird on that front, but there was a lot of reason for it to be weird. There were people taking profits, going to GameStop, doing a ton of other stuff other than buying TRXC, and I mean, it didn't have any really huge news, so it wasn't a big deal. So the news actually ended up hitting on the Tuesday, and even then there still wasn't a ton of movement. As a matter of fact, it actually went down just a tiny bit. So once again, went up and then back down. So it was a very boring week, all in all, until this end of the week where we got a huge price surge of about 12%, kind of coming at after hours, a little bit more volatile, some profit taking. It's Friday, folks. People want money for the weekend. So nothing to worry about there. But what I really want to bring up here is the fact that this stock at 30 million, right? So we know this stock had not 30 million, about 30 million shares. The company bought at $3 a share. And we can see every time it goes down here, right? So right around here, right, we start touching that low, right? What happened, right? We hit that low of $3 a share, right? And then bada boom, next day it shoots up. So it really is seeing a substantial amount of resistance around that $3 mark. And I think coming into from last week, which was a huge buying opportunity, because we saw prices as low as $275, which was really, really remarkable. And so, it was going back down, and I think that it was just kind of, there were enough people who knew it was stupid to sell. And I think that's what makes a stock rise and continue its growth, is when even the most uneducated investor can come to the conclusion that if a company just made an $80 million investment into this company at a certain share price, that chances are I probably want to buy it at that price, and I sure as heck ain't gonna sell it. So that's what I think is going to create a really great floor around $3, and that's what I'm really excited about. into the next coming weeks and into earnings coming up. And I think that's really what people are going to have their heads looking at is earnings. So, you know, we could expect to see some really substantial growth. We could even start looking into the 4s or the 5s. So that's what I'm really excited about. I'm really excited about next week, and I'm excited about this whole month, to be honest with you, just because there's so much potential for the company to do so much in terms of milestones and things that the company is to do. Remember, this is a robotic surgical company, okay? There are huge milestones that are going to increase the value of the company substantially, which are FDA approvals, peer reviews. When we can get more and more market penetration, that's really when we're going to start seeing some increases. And then on top of that, we also know that earnings is going to be a beat, and we also know that their 10Qs are going to be updated, which is really, really important. And I think that's going to be a huge catalyst into more investors coming in, because when we look at these financials, we just think to ourselves, oh, it's an awful company. They must have done awfully. But when we look at the differences, I promise you, when we look at the differences into 2020, I think you're going to see a huge change. And I think when 2021 comes, it's going to be too late, because that's really when we're going to see a really, really, really great fundamental rise. So obviously, I'm excited about earnings. We're excited about the whole year of 2021. We're expecting huge earning potential. We're expecting growth, you know, within millions and millions. So we're expecting quite a bit of growth here. I think it's about from 3 million to about, I think, 10 million. Yeah, so there should be a $7 million growth. Don't quote me on that, but I know that's the minimum. It might even be 17, but I'm pretty sure it's 10. And that is at least $7 million increased revenue, which is an increase of almost about 125% or something along those lines. So they're looking at increasing their revenues substantially, and we can kind of see that their revenues, did taper off a little bit, and they did have problems with their revenue. So I'm definitely excited to see what the future holds with this company, and how they're going to increase their revenues and really start increasing their EPS and really becoming an actual contender in this industry, which they definitely deserve to be with the technology that they've produced, and the resilience that they've showed through a very poor 2019 and a really poor 2020. 2020 couldn't have been a worse year for these guys. So they're definitely on the way up, back up. So I'm excited. With that being said, nothing really else happened. It was just basically the closing of the offering, which we all expected to close. We didn't think they would back out of that. And I think that there's a lot of hype being generated around this company, and I think that there's a lot of forward movement, and I think that there's nobody really kind of interested too heavily on selling other than the day traders and the retail investors who simply can't afford or can't stand to even look at their portfolio going down, and they need to buy a new company every single week. So if you're one of them, yeah, of course, you're gonna look at any loss as the company is, not working out anymore. But trust me, it's going to require a lot of patience. And it's going to require a lot of resiliency. But overall, I'm very excited about the trajectory of the company, and I would be excited about next week, and I would be honestly excited about this whole month if I were you. So that's my consensus. Obviously, I could be wrong, but that doesn't feel in my heart like it's a bet I'm willing to make, essentially, right? Because there can always be something catastrophic that can happen, and that's why we buy companies at good prices, and that's why we look for floors, and that's why we wait for dips, because we want to be able to protect ourselves, and that's why you have to be conscientious. No matter, even in the best companies, you really want to be smart. So with that being said, that kind of wraps up everything. Please check the Discord out. Please join the Discord. There's tons of people in there. We're always chatting. We're always talking. It's a really, really nice place to kind of, blow off some steam, talk about some investments, bring up some ideas, share some knowledge, and kind of just track and celebrate TRXC as well. So with that being said, like I said, it's kind of wraps everything up. Join the Discord, and that's about it. Yeah, just join the Discord, and I'll see you next week. These weekly reviews are going to be every week. That's why they're called weekly. So I will see you 100% next week. I might make another video at the end of for the weekend as well. So definitely stay tuned. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.